Hi. First thing would like to say that I really enjoy doing a video entry versus a Word document. It just helps me kind of articulate my thought process from start to finish versus kind of losing that in the editing process. But I do have the survey pulled up. The first one: connections with children lead to more cooperative behavior. Even in the pre-survey, I really felt like that was something that I strongly agreed with, just because I know that I tend to gravitate towards some of the children in classes that have behavioral issues. Most of the time when I'm working with them, I realize that they're a little bit higher level than some of their peers. They just have a hard time kind of communicating, what they need, and 9 times out of 10 they're just kind of hyper kids and they're kind of already ahead of the curve in some regards. So I really gravitate to those students and I do make those connections, and we kind of get to a point where instead of the CT, kind of correcting those behaviors, I kind of jump in place. They have a whole group to work with or whatever the case may be. I pull those students to the side and I like to just kind of figure out what's going on in their head. I know the video talks a lot about, home life and how your parents respond to stressful situations and kind of internalizing that as a result. So I definitely believe, strongly agree that connections do lead to more cooperative behavior pre and post. Is it possible to make other changes if you use the right reward or punishment? I do. So in the survey, I kind of went undecided. I'm still kind of sitting on that teeter-tottering thing. The right reward or punishment. I don't like punishment. I do believe in, positive reinforcement and all that good stuff. But sometimes that's not the case, and, a sticker's not gonna make your home life better or make your situations or traumas that you've experienced any easier or lighter. So that one, I'm just kind of in the middle, truly. I just don't know if there's a right reward or punishment to kind of, like she was saying in the video, instead of like putting a band-aid over the problem, you really have to get to the root of it, the core of the problem, and try to solve it from that aspect. All behavior is a form of communication. I strongly agreed with that on the pre and the post. So not a really transformational step. But it is good to kind of have in the back of your head, when you're busy teaching a whole group and you have this child in your class that's continually, pushing the buttons and testing your patience. So it's just a good kind of precursor to have in the back of your head, like, this child is trying to communicate with me whether I know it or not. Rules govern behavior. I definitely strongly agree with that pre and post. Rules that are put in place. You either want to break the rules or you're a rule follower, and like she was saying in the video, your environment really plays heavily on that. As far as, if you've never had anybody give you a reason to follow the rules, then why would you? Why would you want to? Conflict is an opportunity for us to teach. 100%. I strongly agree with that. After the second video, kind of outlined it a little bit better for me, but I do believe that if we can internalize it in ourselves, like driving down the road and getting upset that someone cut you off, you're screaming in the car and you're having a reaction, but that person doesn't care. I've always kind of followed that rule of thumb anytime I've ever got frustrated in a situation. If it's not in my control, it's hard for me to have like a crazy reaction or want to be a part of conflict. I know some people in that situation would run others off the road, and that's just simply not me. But definitely a moment for us to teach, just because if we can self-regulate, or if we can't self-regulate, then how are we going to have our kids in, you know, a social emotional point where they have a capacity to self-regulate and you know, just move in the right direction, have positive mindsets. And that truly starts with us. And I really like these seminars because it kind of makes you reflect on yourself, what you believe in. That way, whatever gets passed on to them, consciously or unconsciously, it is for the benefit of the student. So, thank you.